Here at home, Ohio lawmakers are passing some high-profile bills today.
NBC4 State House reporter Natalie Fahmy joins us live to tell us about two of the big bills that took major steps forward this afternoon. Natalie?
Jennifer, Jared, just a bit earlier this afternoon, Ohio senators passed legislation on party lines that makes sweeping changes to the state's recreational marijuana laws. And that's leaving some Ohioans worried that these changes are on the fast track to becoming law.
If it passes, I'm going to be very, very upset.
That's Justin Cannabis. He's a lifelong Ohioan who tells me he grows marijuana for medicinal purposes, even before it was legal. Then, when Ohio voters legalized it,
Actually feeling like I had freedom this last year.
But Senate Bill 56 will dampen how much he can grow. Right now, Ohioans can grow up to 12 plants in a home with 2 adults. This bill halves that and makes nearly 4 dozen other changes.
I don't believe this is going against the will of voters at all. This bill, the intention of this bill is to protect, in my perspective, children and families.
Senator Christina Rogner, chair of the Senate General Government Committee, says the bill will protect children without causing a chilling effect to the industry.
And this bill still allows for the growth, the processing, the dispensing of it, but it should be done responsibly. And I think that's the key provision right there.
The bill also decreases the legal THC level, caps the number of active dispensaries allowed at 350, and has an expungement provision. Opposers tell me even with small wins like expungement, the cons still outweigh the pros.
I cross my fingers and I hope this Senate bill gets dropped.
This bill still needs to get through the Ohio House, but House leadership tells me they're looking to get something done by the end of June at least. Coming up on NBC4 at 6, hear about a multi-billion-dollar spending bill that just passed the Ohio House. Local for you at the State House, I'm Natalie Fahmy, NBC4.
Want access today. They voted to reduce the amount of THC in products and reduce the amount of plants you can grow.
Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trout's been covering cannabis policy for years now. She's following through tonight with the latest legislation and how it could impact you.
From discovering medicinal cannabis while dealing with polycystic ovarian syndrome to helping collect signatures to legalize recreational marijuana, Tasha Roundtree has been fighting on the front lines for the product.
Just having something to help me get me up.
Which is why she's extremely disappointed in the state lawmakers. Since Ohioans overwhelmingly voted to allow for adult use cannabis in 2023, legislators have been trying to change the law.
We feel lied to, we feel bamboozled, we feel infiltrated in our community.
Republican senators have now passed SB 56, which decreases the THC content and limits home growing. State Senator Christina Rogner believes that these changes are common sense for public safety.
We want to make sure it's done responsibly, respectfully, and protects the children in Ohio.
The bill would also change the tax structure. Instead of a portion of the funds going to a social equity fund, which would help marginalized communities get dispensary licenses, that money would be held until lawmakers decide where it goes. Roundtree feels that the Black community deserves to have a stake in the industry, since data has shown that they've been disproportionately impacted by marijuana-related laws.
We don't have the cultivation sites, we don't have the processing, and now we don't have the dispensary. And now we don't even have the opportunity. So it's like, what did we do all that for? We've been lied to. We have a stolen opportunity.
The bill would also cap the number of dispensaries in the state to 350. Roundtree fears this will eliminate competition, but Rogner disagrees.
I don't think this will stifle the industry. I mean, this is certainly it's a booming industry.
Bill sponsor Steve Huffman adds that the voters knew they wanted legal weed, but didn't know everything they were voting on.
I'm not sure why, people voted for the initiated. It could have been home grow, public smoking, increase in dispensaries. It could have been anything. We'll never know.
Do you think that the changes that he's proposed go against the will of the voters?
Absolutely.
The bill now heads over to the House for review. At the Ohio State House, I'm Morgan Trout reporting.
You're going to see a lot of these guys be very smart about what they have.
#56 sponsor. This proposal would make some big changes to the products they're able to buy at dispensaries, including reducing how potent they can be. It would also limit the number of plants that you're able to grow at home and more. The Senate Bill 56 sponsor, Stephen Huffman of Tip City, says the bill comes down to public safety.
Banning public smoking, prohibiting driving while the driver or any passengers using marijuana, and ensuring homegrown marijuana is not grown at residents that operate in-home child care programs.
General Government Committee Chair Christina Rogner signaled her support because she says the bill protects children.
They're prohibiting being marketed by any graphic picture or drawing that bears any resemblance to a cartoon character or popular figure. They can't be designed as fruit or something particularly attractive to children.
Some of the other notable changes include only being allowed to use marijuana inside a private residence, also reducing the number of pot plants allowed to be grown at a home from 12 down to 6. Mark Hobson was one of the 40 people who spoke against the proposed changes in the bill. He says reducing THC potency in extracts from 90% down to 70 would make Ohio products less potent than neighboring Michigan and what's available in the black and gray markets.
In cutting concentration back to 70%, the legislature is inadvertently putting the tax-generating legal market at a severe disadvantage to these other markets.
Hobson says these restrictions will lead to fewer jobs in the growing market and reduce tax dollars into the state.
I'd like to point out that Ohio has a flourishing black and gray market that pays no taxes and poisons Ohioans. Restricting our cultivation space, reducing potencies, only bolster these markets and shrinks the regulated market at the same time.
Senate Bill 56 had been scheduled for a committee vote this week, but that meeting was canceled. So far, it's not been rescheduled. As soon as it is, we'll let you know. Now, if passed, this would go into effect 90 days after. In Cincinnati, I'm Christian Hauser.
You can all. It started out as a routine traffic stop last month for a driver behind the wheel of a U-Haul truck just outside of Cambridge.
Reason I'm stopping you is you were driving over the edge line. Want to make sure you're not texting and driving on your phone or anything.
When Ohio Highway Patrol troopers pull over the truck, the man behind the wheel says he's on his way from Oklahoma, headed to Pennsylvania.
What are you hauling? I'm moving. Oh, you're moving? Yeah. Can we look in the back? Yeah.
Except troopers don't find furniture in the moving van. Instead, they discover 12 plastic tubs filled with marijuana and dozens of bagged weed in some of those containers. 700 pounds of marijuana with a street value of $3.5 million. Discovered, troopers say, when drug-sniffing canines are brought to the scene. More than enough drugs to charge 33-year-old Ivan Fortunato with felony drug charges.
I got to advise you of your Miranda warnings. So you do have the right to remain silent.
An arrest warrant has now been issued for Fortunato after Guernsey County court records say he failed to show up for his most recent court appearance. On your side, Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.